Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on True Confessions, Naija. The confession you're about to listen to, it comes from a message we received from one of our brothers, and the message reads like this. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. Please allow me to share my story. I am a man who once thought he was smart, charming, and in control of life. But today, I am broken, living in fear and haunted by the things I cannot even explain with ordinary words. This is how my story begins. I never wanted to be in a polygamous marriage. That was never the plan. I grew up in a humble home. My parents always advised me, son, if you ever choose a wife, make sure you choose carefully and treat her with respect. But life had its way of turning me into a fool. I was dating two women at the same time. Let's call them Mary and Agnes. Both of them were good women. They were not perfect, but they loved me in their own ways. I thought I was smart enough to balance the two relationships. I would tell Mary that I was busy when I was with Agnes, and I would tell Agnes that I was traveling when I was with Mary. But secrets, my brothers and sisters, have a way of coming out. One day, both of them discovered the truth that I was dating them at the same time. And to make matters worse, I had impregnated both of them. At first, I tried to convince each of them privately to go for an abortion. I told them that life was uncertain, especially because COVID had just begun spreading. I used the virus as an excuse. I told them the future was unpredictable and having a child in such times would be a mistake. But then something happened that I never expected. The two women got in contact with each other. They shared messages, screenshots, and chats of how I had been telling both of them the exact same lies. That was the day they realized they were both carrying my children. Instead of fighting each other, they made a decision that changed my life forever. They decided to move into my house together, pregnant, angry, but determined to make me take responsibility. That night is still fresh in my mind. I was lying in bed, watching TV, sipping a little alcohol. I'm not a heavy drinker, but that day, I just wanted to forget my problems. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. When I opened it, there they were, Mary and Agnes, each holding bags, pregnant, staring at me with eyes full of fire and disappointment. Without asking permission, they walked inside and said, "We are not leaving. You made us pregnant. We are here for you to take full responsibility." I felt my legs weaken. I tried to explain that I was living in a tiny back room, a single bed, a TV stand, a small two-place stove in the corner. The space was too small for 3 people, but they didn't care. They said, "Since you wanted to act like a man, now be a man." That was the beginning of my polygamous marriage. At first, I thought maybe I could handle it, but then the pandemic worsened. I lost my job, I was retrenched, and stuck at home with 2 pregnant women. Money dried up, food disappeared, hunger became our daily visitor. There were days when we had nothing to eat. We would survive on a loaf of bread, and I'll force myself to eat just one slice while leaving the rest for them. Sometimes we only drank water and went to bed. I watched Mary and Agnes, two women who should have hated each other, learn to live side by side in my tiny room. They even comforted each other sometimes, and in a strange way, I began to admire them for their strength. But inside me, I was drowning. I felt like less of a man. I couldn't provide. I couldn't protect. I couldn't even promise them a better tomorrow. That was when temptation came knocking. Scrolling through Facebook one night, I came across a Sangoma, an African traditional healer, Babalawo. He claimed he could perform miracles. He said he could make money appear in my wallet without end. At first, I laughed it off, but hunger has a way of making a man desperate. I reached out to him. He told me this was a clean money game. No blood, no sacrifices, just spiritual power. He asked me, "Do you have a strong heart?" I said yes. I didn't know that those three letters, yes, would destroy everything I loved. He asked me to send pictures of myself. I asked Agnes to take photos of me, and I sent them. He replied, "It's fine. The oracle has accepted you." He told me to call him at exactly midnight. He said most rituals work between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. That night, I went outside to the yard while everyone was slept. When we had answered my call, I suddenly felt a cold presence behind me. He asked, "Do you feel it?" I said yes. "That is me. I am standing behind you spiritually." I turned around, and brothers and sisters, what I saw is something I cannot erase from my memory. When I turned, I dropped my phone in shock. Behind me stood something that looked like a man, but wasn't human. It had horns. Its skin was wrinkled and fawn-like, almost as if it was covered in scars. Its eyes burned like fire. I wanted to run, but my legs froze. Then the voice spoke, not from the phone anymore, but directly into my heart. It was speaking in a language I had never heard before, yet somehow I understood every word. It ordered me to dig a hole, urinate in it, then eat the soil mixed with my urine. Disgusted, I hesitated, but hunger, shame, and desperation pushed me. I obeyed. From that night, my life was never the same. After the rituals, strange things began to happen. I would keep a single $50 note in my wallet. Whenever I spent it, the cashier would get confused and give me back more than what I paid. Sometimes I left supermarkets with extra $100 or even $200. Even in taxis, if I paid $1, the driver would return me $10. Money seemed to multiply in my hands. At first, I was overjoyed. My wives could finally eat. We could buy clothes. We could live the life like normal humans again. But soon, I noticed something disturbing. Whenever I tried to save the money, it vanished. I would hide cash under the mattress, but the next day, it would be gone. I'll keep it in my wallet, but by morning, it will be empty. The Sangoma told me, "You must do another ritual. You need a sacrifice if you want to save money." I was afraid, but it was already too late. One night, before my wives gave birth, I had a terrible dream. In that dream, I was holding a knife. I was stabbing one of my wives. She screamed and bled in my hands. I woke up sweating, my body trembling. Weeks later, when Agnes was in labor, she died in the hospital. The doctor said it was COVID, but deep in my heart, I knew it was connected to the rituals. I remember the dream. I remember the Sangoma's words, and I realized her death was the sacrifice. That broke me. Today, I am left with one wife and my children, but I am not at peace. Whenever the lights go out and darkness fills the room, I feel evil spirits surrounding me. I feel the same cold presence breathing down my neck. Sometimes I hear whispers in strange languages. I have searched for the Sangoma on Facebook. His account is gone. His name erased. It's as if he never existed. But the charms he gave me are still with me. He told me never to throw them away, but keeping them feels like sleeping with death under my pillow. I am trapped. So here I am, confessing my story, not because I am proud, but because I am desperate. If anyone listening to me believes in prayer, please pray for me. Pray for my soul. Pray for my wife and children, because I am scared that the next sacrifice will be me. This is my story, brothers and sisters. Please learn from my mistakes. Greed and desperation lead to destruction. And if you ever feel tempted by shortcuts to money, remember me. Remember this confession, because I am living proof that nothing free ever comes without a price. Thank you for allowing me to share my confession. I'll be checking the comments to see your reactions. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brothers. Let us try to talk to him in the comment section. Things they really happen for this our world. Now wow.